that this would be done. Again, it was not done. Now, it's clear that we have a ZEC that is biased. We have a ZEC that has lost the confidence and trust of the people of Zimbabwe. We have a ZEC that has chosen to throw away the whistle as a referee and join another team, particularly the ED team, Mnangagwa's team. And this is why Mnangagwa is not complaining, because the team is playing on his behalf. But what we have resolved to do is to make sure that we defeat both the referee and the player. Mr. Mnangagwa and ZEC must both be defeated. Defeated in terms of the overwhelming sentiment in the country, that we are not going to allow them to get away with murder literally and metaphorically. What does it mean? What it does mean, our voting in numbers. Make sure that we, the people, stop the cheating, stop the deception, and also stop the shenanigans that we have seen being instituted by ZEC. We are going to turn in our numbers and defeat them. In fact, we want to make sure that they will not steal this election. So we've put in place anti-rigging mechanisms to deal with the issues that they hope they are going to use. Contrary to the perception that we are going to boycott the election, we can't boycott our victory. We can't boycott our mandate. We can't boycott the clear mandate we have been given by the people of Zimbabwe. Winners don't quit. Winners don't boycott. We are the winners in this election. If anything, we've also realized that it's a machination by ZANU-PF to try and get us into a position of despondence and start causing anarchy so that the election is avoided. Now, we know them. We know from our intelligence that they are panicking. They are scared of an election. Mnangagwa knows that defeat is staring in his face. But we want to assure him, he has nothing to fear. He has done his part. He should not be afraid of the inevitable. Victory is certain for the people of Zimbabwe. He must be there to accept defeat in magnanimity. And we are ready to embrace him as we go forward, as a citizen, as a former president, and also as a liberation icon. That way, that's how we are going to make sure our country moves forward. So yes, we know that it is in the nature of ZANU-PF to cheat and to also undermine the will of the people. But we are saying to people of Zimbabwe, come in your numbers to shame the detractors. Let us have an avalanche of support for victory, for real change, for the inevitable, which is the victory of the people. Having said that, I think I will take questions, unlike in ZANU-PF where they just address you and walk away. We are not going to walk away. We want to hear what your questions are. In fact, my teammate requested that we just address and go, but we can't do that. We want to represent the new. Let us allow questions. We respond to questions if we have any, so that we are able to move forward. Thank you very much.
Let's take 3 questions, and the President will answer those and proceed that way.
Tafumane Islay Media. There was a proposal yesterday at a meeting with ZEC that because of the fear that if voters use a pen, it will migrate to another president. Have you agreed to use the pen as suggested yesterday? To use the pencil instead? Sorry.
Well, I told you that victory is inevitable. There is a clear and predictable victory for the MDC alliance. It's known in ZANU-PF. It's known by the people of Zimbabwe. This is why we've been panicking of late, running all over, trying to hold meetings, trying to distribute food, trying to distribute maize seed and fertilizer in June and in July. We understand their fear, and we sympathize with their anxiety. But there's nothing that we can do beyond that. We are clear on our anti-rigging mechanisms and units to say, announcing to the people on how we are going to stop rigging. But what I can assure you is that come Tuesday, there's going to be a new government in this country. There's going to be a new president in this country. Our people are going to vote overwhelmingly and resoundingly. And everyone knows that this is the time for change. Any fiction. We will only accept genuine elections. And if there's going to be a genuine election, there's nothing to accept which is contrary to our victory. Because victory is inevitable. The people have spoken.
Advocate, from your own statement, you seem to be of the view that ZEC is not able to produce a credible election based on the not being able to produce a transparent process right through. Is it not the most logical thing to boycott such a flawed process?
I hear your logic, my brother, that we should boycott. Like I told you, we can't boycott ourselves. We as Zimbabwe, it's not possible to boycott our victory. That is what losers would want us to do. Now, we don't take advice from losers. We don't take advice from those who are defeated. We are very clear and very circumspect. Let us respect the will of the people. The people want us to defeat dictatorship, to defeat poverty, to defeat tyranny, to defeat their hopelessness. They want us to defeat the kind of embarrassment that they face as a people for the past 38 years. And this is why we are giving them a fighting chance. I can't be written in history as a person who betrayed and deprived the people their God-given right. We have done our best to campaign. We have done 74 rallies across the whole country. God is going to do the rest, and we know that is going to be a miracle. Our victory is certain. That you should know. And I know that you are going to be the first beneficiary, and we will celebrate with you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chamisa,
yes, Father.
Violet Gonda, independent journalist. What's with the U-turn? Because you were categoric just a few weeks ago that you will not. They will not be.
They want their victory, and I want to be there to convince that victory. I only convince it on account of participating on the basis of their will, on the basis of their instruction, on the basis of what they tell me. So it's not a U-turn. Don't see any inconsistency. In fact, it's a consistent position. But the reason why we want reform is because we want to secure the people's vote. We want to protect their voice. So that is the reason why we are pushing it. Yes, ZEC is intransigent, but we will still defeat them, even in that stubborn election, without a contested process. Right now, we have a contested process. And our wish is to make sure that we don't have a contested outcome. But for that to happen, this is why we're demonstrating. In fact, we're demonstrating for sanity. We're demonstrating for some modicum and semblance of normals. We're demonstrating for constitutionalism, which is being torn apart. We're demonstrating for legality and the rule of law, which we are seeing being negated. So it's not as if when we go to demonstrate, when we picket, these are constitutional rights. We are simply utilizing our rights. Those in ZANU-PF do not want to exercise their rights because their rights are guaranteed and secured. But for those of us who are ordinary citizens, we have those rights in the Constitution. And we'll continue doing that. In fact, I've already said, on Monday we are beginning our celebrations. Soon after voting, people...
Do you not think that this will stop the flame of voter apathy among some of the supporters?
Don't even worry about voter apathy. The voters are going to be overwhelmingly vote. They were listening, they are listening. I've said to every Zimbabwean, those who are sick, we must make mechanisms to take you to the polling booth. You'll get well in a new Zimbabwe when we get our hospitals fixed. Those who cannot come because they are out of the country, please make sure you secure your tickets. You come and vote in our large numbers. Apathy is as worse as ZANU-PF. Those are the twin evils that are going to defeat our prospects for change in this country. And this is why we are encouraging every Zimbabwean to come out in their large numbers and vote. So don't worry about apathy. People want me to say, I will not say the name. You know, we must be more responsible. You know, Mr. Beat is whispering, I must say, you know. We have the information of the country that they've hired. And what they are doing is that they are issuing fake information. Chamisa is fired, BT, Chamisa is involved in an accident. That's what they were doing in other countries where they help dictators. We are watching them. And people of Zimbabwe must not be hoodwinked by this false information. They will actually escalate as we go into the election. Just listen to what we say. Don't listen to what they say. Because their information is distorted. Their information is meant to mislead you. Well, I'm a man of peace. My whole life has been about peace. I'm a pastor, a man of God, not a fake man of God, a true and genuine man of God. I honor men. I honor peace. I honor the people. I also honor God. So in my engagement, I'm very consistent on peace. It's an allegation which will not stick because they are afraid of the capacity that we have. Indeed, if we are to say this country is to be ungovernable starting tomorrow, Munanga will not be able to control it. We have the capacity to control, and this is why we have been very we must be acknowledged as peace icons. We have managed to smoke a peace pipe, even with a crocodile who is so violent and arrogant. And that we must be appreciated for, because we've tried to build and contain the pressure of the young people. Young people out there are restless. They will face the music. That they must know. It's not a threat, it's a good promise of exercising our instruments of peace to make sure that we're able to move together as a country so that we build a one united nation. So yes, I've also heard things about Chigumba. I'm not interested about Chigumba's personal life or private life. I actually apologize with the circumstances. I wouldn't want anybody to pierce the veil of personal life. We would want to look at the issues. Let's not distract ourselves from the issues, personal issues. That let us protect our women in positions of authority. Let us also not undermine or abuse them. It's very important to see more women in positions of leadership. As you will see in our cabinet, you will see more women in positions of leadership. And let me just take this opportunity to also say, there are a lot of people in government who are worried about their future. This government we are forming is a government for everyone. What we are changing is the leadership of government, not the bureaucracy of government. We are not touching the bureaucracy, we are just reorienting the bureaucracy to make sure that they are consistent with the dictates of good governance. And moving forward, every patriotic Zimbabwean, teachers, soldiers, police, you have a...
What do you think you would have made of the current situation?
Well, I'm Mr. Tsvangirai's representative. What the current situation would have been Dr. Tsvangirai's position? That the environment is not conducive, that the behavior of ZEC has more omissions and gaps than the things that they're supposed to do. And that, of course, we have a lot of issues around the process itself. It's a contested process. We are yet to see the outcome, but the process is contested. You would have said that, and I'm just confirming that position. But now, you must know that that's no longer consequential. What's consequential is what we have now said going forward, so that we are able to build a united position. You are saying that it's a contested position, so the election is going to be contested. Look, we have already said that we are contesting the process. If the outcome is going to be an outcome of a contested process, it will be contestable. But the fact is that we will win an election whether we are, having our hand tied behind our back. We will win this election. We have won this election. It's the people of Zimbabwe. It's known by people in ZANU-PF that we have won this election. They know it. And that's why they are now jumping from pillar to post, trying to find ways of rescuing their fortunes. They will not win this election. They will not. Mr. Mugabe himself, who is their founding father, believes in the alternative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I ask members of the media to remain where you are until the president has left the room, and then you can start reorganizing yourselves?
Well, I always love it to see the press going first. I mean, they want to go and file their copies. We must give them their priority and precedence. Thank you very much. Then we can also take our way. Thank you. Just for a difference. I mean, we should not be bossy. Thank you.
Okay, President.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah.
My mic.
All right. Thank you very much.